The airlock hissed open, and Melissa stumbled through, her biosuit torn at the elbows. Beneath the transparent polymer sleeves, white bandages wrapped around both forearms, already showing rust-colored seep. The station's artificial gravity caught her, and she nearly collapsed against the bulkhead. Jack rushed forward from the observation deck, his neural interface flickering with alarm signals that danced across his temples like bioluminescent fireflies. What happened out there? You were only supposed to collect atmospheric samples from the upper cloud layers. Melissa didn't answer immediately. Her eyes were fixed on the containment chamber at the far end of the habitation module, where 3 juvenile specimens of Ursus titanicus, the massive predators native to KEPLER 442b, paced restlessly behind the electromagnetic barriers. The cubs, each already the size of Earth grizzlies, despite being only 8 months old, had stopped their usual play. Their heads turned in unison toward Melissa, nostrils flaring. The largest one, whom Jack had nicknamed Apollo, released a guttural sound that rattled the reinforced viewing panels. It wasn't a ronot yet. The cubs hadn't developed their full vocal apparatus, but the vibration carried something primal, something that made Jack's limbic system fire warning signals directly into his cortex. "They know," Melissa whispered, cradling her bandaged arms against her chest. "Jack, they can smell it. The pheromone markers, the stress hormones." Jack activated his medical scanner, the device projecting a holographic lattice over Melissa's injuries. The data made his stomach drop. "These aren't atmospheric burns. This is biological trauma." "Melissa, what did you encounter?" She finally met his eyes, and Jack saw something he'd never seen in his research partner before. Not in the 3 years they'd spent on this distant moon. Not through the isolation, the equipment failures, or the brutal storms that could strip paint from titanium. He saw fear. "There was something in the clouds," she began, her voice barely audible over the ventilation systems. "The spectrometer detected an anomaly, a heat signature that didn't match any of the indigenous fauna we've catalogued. I descended to investigate." Jack pulled up her suit's telemetry data on his neural display. The logs showed her descent trajectory taking her far below the safe operational ceiling, into the dense layers where visibility dropped to mere meters and the atmospheric pressure could crush unshielded equipment. "At 3,000 meters, I found it," Melissa continued. "A structure, not natural, perfectly geometric. The material was alive, Jack, organic metallic alloy, pulsing with its own rhythm, like a heart made of titanium and flesh." The cub's agitation intensified. Apollo charged the electromagnetic barrier, and sparks erupted where his mass collided with the field. The other 2 cubs, Artemis and Achilles, joined him, their collective roaring finally finding voice. The sound was deafening in the confined space. "Initiate sedation protocol," Jack commanded the station's AI immediately. Aerosol canisters deployed from the ceiling of the containment chamber, releasing a cocktail of tranquilizers specifically engineered for the cubs' unique neurochemistry. But the cubs didn't slow. If anything, their fury amplified. "It won't work," Melissa said, a strange calm settling over her. "They're not angry at us. They're trying to warn us." Jack's scanner completed its deep tissue analysis. The results made no sense. Melissa's wounds showed cellular damage at the quantum level. Her DNA had been partially rewritten, specific genes activated that should have remained dormant. More disturbing, her blood chemistry had shifted. She was producing pheromones that shouldn't exist in human biology. Complex molecular signatures that matched the cubs, Jack breathed. "You're producing their maternal distress signals." Melissa nodded slowly. "When I touched the structure, it interfaced with me, downloaded something, or uploaded something. I don't know the right terminology for what happened, but I saw memories that aren't mine. I felt the presence of something vast, something that's been waiting beneath these clouds for longer than Earth has had multicellular life." She unwrapped the bandages with trembling fingers. Jack expected to see lacerations, burns, infection. Instead, her skin had changed. Beneath the human epidermis, he could see patterns forming bioluminescent striations that pulsed in rhythm with the cub's agitation. The same patterns that marked the cub's fur when they experienced extreme stress. "The structure is a beacon," Melissa explained, her voice taking on a distant quality. "The species that built it, they seeded this moon millennia ago. The Ursus titanicus aren't naturally evolved predators. They're guardians, biological weapons systems designed to protect something buried deep in the planetary core." Apollo's massive paw slammed against the barrier again, and this time, hairline fractures appeared in the reinforcement matrix. The other cubs joined, their combined mass creating harmonic resonances that the engineers had never anticipated. Jack, we need to leave. Now. My contact with the beacon has activated something. The adults are coming. Through the observation windows, Jack saw them. Dozens of heat signatures emerging from the cloud bank's fully grown Ursus Titanicus, each one large enough to demolish their entire research station. They moved with terrible purpose, converging on their location. Jack's hands flew across the control panel, initiating emergency evacuation protocols. The shuttle can't handle atmospheric launch in these conditions. We need 20 minutes for the storm to pass. We have 5, Melissa said, watching the cubs. Apollo had stopped attacking the barrier. All 3 juveniles sat now, heads tilted back, releasing a harmonic call that resonated through the station's superstructure. They're not trying to escape anymore, Jack realized. They're singing, Melissa smiled, despite everything. They're calling their family home, and Jack, I understand the language now. They're not just animals. They never were. The first adult's roar shook the moon's surface, and Melissa's transformed arms glowed brighter, matching the call note for note. The beacon had chosen its messenger, and the Guardians were coming to reclaim their watch.